In the rest of the world, New Year's traditions aren't quite so clear-cut, and they can be downright terrifying in some cases. A ghostly encounter scares a family obsessed with the occult and just plain a big box of money.
Get comfortable. Turn off the lights. It's Monthly Spooky.
Well, hello, my spookies, and I guess, not to get presumptuous, but Happy New Year, because it's the day before New Year's Eve. It's December 30th. I almost said 30th. It's been a long year, kids. And this is Monthly Spooky, our month-end wrap-up show. I'm, of course, Enrique Couto here with my good buddy and co-host, Michelle. Michelle, how are you?
I hate everything.
I know, dear. I know. There's a lot to get into. Well, so, Chell, I was going, the instinct is to ask, how was your holiday?
Oh, it wasn't really good.
Right.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
Because you're Jewish.
Yeah. No, actually, and also, it's still Hanukkah right now.
Yeah.
But no, I got really bad food poisoning and everything sucks and I hate everything and that's my biggest fear. So I'm trying to recover emotionally now.
Your biggest fear is hating everything?
Oh, no, that's just the normal things.
So to make matters more interesting, I was actually physically in your home.
Yes.
When you got ill.
Yes.
So I'm sorry. It's awful.
Okay.
No, it's bad, but I will say, I've had much worse food poisoning. Just for the record.
Yeah. I mean, I've had worse bouts of throwing up, but I haven't had one affect me this long.
No, that's fair. No, that's super duper fair. Yeah. Usually for me with food poisoning, once I Ralph,
mm-hmm.
That's the beginning of things getting better. Although one time it did give 3 days of just hell.
Yeah.
So no, I'm sorry that my friendship makes you sick.
It's okay.
Right before Christmas, I made a trip out east, visited some friends in New Jersey, visited some friends in northeastern Pennsylvania, and then landed outside of Philadelphia to hang out with you, Michelle, where we ate good food and then apparently not so good food. The weird thing is, there's only one thing you ate that we didn't share.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that must have been
it. Was that. Yeah.
It was that, yeah.
Yeah.
So are you ever going to eat Korean food again?
To be fair, not from there. Probably never again.
Yeah.
So
that kind of tainted the H Mart experience for me.
Yeah. I don't even really want to go to H Mart anymore. And not that it's the H Mart's fault. I just, now I have like a trigger bad memory.
Oh no.
So yeah.
For those who are unaware, that bump you heard was Michelle hitting her head into the microphone.
Oh yeah, sorry.
To punctuate her suffering.
Yeah.
No, that's one of the worst. It was. You kept thinking that the situation was terrible for me, but because you thought I was just that you were just being an awful friend or a bad host or whatever. But it was terrible for me because I knew that it was terrible for you.
Oh,
I was just sitting there. I'm like, I'm fine. I can just look at my phone. I just feel bad for you that you're sick.
Yeah.
And that you're like, I'm sorry, I'm sick. And I'm like, it's fine. It's not fine, but it's fine.
Yeah.
To be sick. But we did have some fun. You were nice enough to wait until the night before I left to get sick, which I appreciated.
Yeah.
Very polite, very thoughtful.
I tried.
So we went to what was it called? The Philadelphia Christmas Village?
I don't know. Something like that. It's the Christmas Village in Philly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went down into Philly and walked around this big marketplace that was decorated for Christmas. I was very impressed to find out that it went on for 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, when it was, the booths looked like they could stand up for 30 days. They were made of like wood and metal. It's just wild for a pop-up to last that long to me.
That's just how they do it.
Hey, I mean, no, that's cool. And apparently it's worth the time. Although I have to say, the guy who had the hot sauces, he had the right idea. He just like immediately admitted that he didn't see me walk up because he was playing Halo. Like he has a TV in his stream deck like below the thing. And I was like, hey, whatever works. He's like, I'm here for 30 days. So I figured I may as well set it up. But his hot sauces were really good, by the way.
Good.
I would plug them, but I don't remember the name of the hot sauces.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you really care, you can email us at weeklyspooky@gmail.com. And I will, if you send that email saying, what was the hot sauce? I will get up from my desk, go into my kitchen, pick up the bottle, and write down the name. But for right now, not so much. Not so much at all. So anyhow, but we did have other fun too. We watched Banana Fish.
Yeah.
Some episodes of Banana Fish, your favorite, your second favorite anime and first favorite manga.
Yeah, there you go.
I remembered it right.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
Yay! Which, if people are curious about Banana Fish, they can go to Michelle Explains Anime. What?
Don't be.
I mean, that may be fair. You can go to Michelle Explains Anime Poorly on your favorite podcasting app and listen to Michelle talk about anime poorly. And right now you are diving deep into Banana Fish. Yeah,
we're done about 20 episodes.
Right.
So there's 4 more to go, if that's how you count.
If that's how you count.
Yeah, that's how you count. And then we're gonna do the 4 one-shots from the manga. And then because when I asked, one person responded. So we're gonna do it.
The people have spoken. The person has spoken.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun because they're really, really upsetting. They're worse than the anime by a lot. So, yeah. I'm not saying that anyone should care. And also, though, like you don't actually have to watch the show to understand what I'm talking about because I just recite the entire episode. So
while crying.
Yeah, most of the
entire way through. Just never-ending stream of tears. No, but Michelle's show is really fun, and if you're into anime, I can't recommend listening to it enough.
Everybody
or if you just like Michelle's sardonic wit. I was smoking cigars with Keith Tomlin yesterday, the author from Weekly Spooky and my good buddy, and he was talking about your sardonic wit specifically.
Do I have that?
Apparently.
Huh.
More so your sardonic wit it's more so when you're writing.
Oh.
Like characters, like you yourself are not a particularly sardonic person.
Yeah.
Because you're not very apathetic or, although now you are, now that you've thrown up, you're pretty much just like, whatever, everything's destroyed.
I don't care. Yeah.
But anyway, I've reached about the limit of the legal amount I'm allowed to say the term sardonic. So I'm going to stop now before it's too late. But no, so one nice thing, though, that didn't cause you food poisoning, I took you to Hot Pot for your first time.
Yeah, yeah.
And you seem to enjoy it okay.
Yeah, it was nice, but it was too much food, really.
I mean, that is kind of the benefit of Hot Pot, is they're just like, here's everything.
Yeah, it's a little bit too much pressure.
So I went right back to Hot Pot on Christmas Day. I couldn't wait. I am obsessed with Hot Pot. I feel like a king. They just bring you out everything you ask for in mass, and then you cook and eat it at your own, leisure.
Yeah,
but I went to Hot Pot on Christmas Day. I saw a movie with my mother on Christmas Day, and then I made a pot roast and watched Christmas Story, Fat Man, and I think we watched Christmas Story, Fat Man. There was one, and Christmas Evil.
That's nice. Yeah,
Christmas Evil is my favorite. So
yeah.
What were you saying?
I pretty much just watched Oz, I guess.
You are so lucky.
I didn't really want to do Christmas anymore.
I get that. I fought with that feeling even without throwing up. So I get it. But I'm glad that Oz could be there to soothe you.
Thanks.
Well, I started trying to get you to watch Oz in 2019.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for a while, you were like watching a lot of it.
Mhm.
and then you fell out. So I kind of brought it up when we were talking, and you were like, maybe I will. Then you got sick and you just started watching the hell out of it. You were just like, because
Yeah.
it's having something to binge when you're sick really helps.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, without a doubt.
Especially
So
when
I'm-
it's like really, really violent. It's got to be like really violent. Any type of violence will work.
The darkness of Michelle is becoming ever apparent.
I want to see people get killed and maimed.
I know, dear. I know. That's the only thing you want. I know.
It really is.
I know. This is so worrisome. Oh, we're going to take a quick break because this is very upsetting. And then when we come back, we're going to talk about some spooky news stories from around the globe. But I also want to mention tonight's topic is we're going to cover, because for the last few years, we always did a Christmassy monthly spooky. This year, I wanted to do something different. So we're going to cover a few lists. I have a couple of lists of creepy and weird New Year's traditions from around the world. And most of these I'd never heard of. So we'll talk about that. But first, we're going to get to the spooky news. But that is, of course, after this. And we are back with our last edition of this in the year. It's the spooky news.
The spooky news.
All right, this first story I had to choose because it's Christmassy. It comes from the Huffington Post. The headline reads, "Dumb mistake. Baby Jesus goes missing, reappears with note at Colorado nativity scene."
Oh.
So apparently, yeah, the baby Jesus got stolen from a nativity scene, but then got returned with a note.
So he just got borrowed.
Yeah, borrowed without permission, which I think is still theft.
I don't know.
Should have been a lawyer. Denver, Colorado, a baby Jesus figurine snatched from a nativity scene in Colorado has been returned in time for Christmas with an apology.
Aww.
The statuette of Jesus lying in a manger, stolen from a public display in downtown Fort Collins early Sunday, was dropped off anonymously at a fire station Thursday, police said. It was accompanied by a handwritten note saying, quote, "I'm really sorry. I made a dumb mistake in the moment. It won't happen again.
Aww.
And I will not be facing consequences."
Yeah.
Yeah. The funny thing is, so I'm not a handwriting expert, but I'm looking at this note and my instinct was to say it looks like it was written by a child.
Aww.
Or like a really quirky middle-aged woman.
Okay.
This is based on nothing, just the way I see handwriting. My handwriting looks like it's 1 to 5 steps worse than the Zodiac Killer. Like, I have the worst handwriting on the planet. But yeah, it's just kind of, the handwriting looks a little odd. Like I don't know, but it could be a kid. Probably a kid.
Maybe.
So,
or maybe it was a drunk person and they just like, oh, steal baby Jesus. And then they like woke up the next morning and they were like, what the fuck?
Nothing quite like waking up the next morning and finding baby Jesus next to you in bed to go,
exactly.
Oh man, I made some mistakes. Well, regardless, it's nice of them to return the baby J. But I like it just as it won't happen again. No signature, no nothing, because
why would you
nobody wants
sign
to get in trouble.
it? Yeah.
A signed person who stole baby Jesus. That's the plot thickens. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It was returned 2 days after police in the college town of about 65 miles north of Denver posted surveillance video of the suspected Grinch on social media. The person appeared to be a teen or young adult. He looks like 15-year-old boy.
Okay.
14, 15 years old. And then the post, by the way, with the photo says, "Can you ID this Grinch who tried to ruin Christmas by stealing the baby Jesus from the Old Town Square nativity scene? If you recognize this suspect, please notify Officer Brittingham." And then it gives a phone number. So yeah, this is like, they were afraid. They're like,
Yeah.
please don't come looking for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no other information about who stole the figurine, police said Friday. The fire station has a motion sensing door camera, but it was not activated when the statue was returned, police said. That it was stolen by the fire chief's son. I'm calling it right now. What do you mean it wasn't activated when the statue was returned? You have a motion sensing door camera and it didn't turn. What did he? I mean, like, if he had thrown the baby Jesus to the doorstep, it would have turned on the camera. Mm-hmm. One of my neighborhood cats turns on my camera like 18 times a night.
Well, what if it's one of those, like, I've never, dealt with a motion sensing camera, but I've dealt with those motion sensing lights. And sometimes they just don't sense motion in the right spot. So you have to I would have to walk down the driveway and wave for it to come on.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So maybe it wasn't pointed the right way.
I mean, I definitely agree because my motion sensing light, even the brand new fancy, I mean, it's not that fancy, but my brand new LED one that I have, you have to wave your arms kind of frantically to get it to turn on sometimes.
Yeah.
But my Ring camera that cost 20 times as much money always turns on when there's motion.
Yeah.
My favorite is when it says there's a person at your door and I open it up and it's just a friggin' spider on the lens and I'm like, oh, that's scary fun. Okay, cool. Thanks, Ring. Last piece of this article, by the way, says the business that takes care of the nativity scene does not want to pursue charges.
Good.
I think this kid worked for the fire department. Because why return the kid to the fire department? Although that is hilarious because that's where you dump kids, children.
Yeah.
And I'm going to leave it at the firehouse. It'll be fine.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, man, yeah, I don't know. I that's suspect. I mean, maybe I'm just becoming a Scrooge as I get older, but I'm just oh yeah, you know what? I would have felt really great about you returning it if there hadn't been a photo of you on social media that people were trying to identify you because you're trying to ditch the heat. That bothers me.
Yeah.
If you had just done it because, you were sitting in your living room and you were hearing the beating of the hideous heart of the baby Jesus, that, if that's pure guilt, pure, need for redemption, that's morality. But if you're just afraid that the internet is going to, okay, I mean, I would be afraid of the internet too, because they're not just, they're going to be like, here's his identity and a list of his fears, and also we got a bunch of credit cards with his name.
Yeah, they're bad.
The internet? You want to say that? That's where we're broadcasting to.
That's okay. The internet knows it's bad.
That's true. It's pretty proud of it, actually.
Yeah.
So this next one is from Newsweek.com. And this one got me curious. This one might take a bit more thought to, dissect. The headline is Mom Baffled by What She Sees When Filming Toddler. Quote, can someone explain?
Did she see a toddler?
I mean, can someone explain? When a man and a woman love each other very, very much. A woman was left baffled after she recorded her child playing and noticed what appeared to be something pulling her leg. Justice Tew, 23 from Idaho, not a real name. No, Justice TEW. Interesting. Spotted something strange about her daughter's movements when she replayed the recording. In the video, the girl crawls around and one of her legs randomly ascends into the air.
Wow.
Quote, I was watching her dance and play with her toys, and so I recorded like I'm always doing, and I noticed something off about her movements, so I stopped the recording to rewatch and noticed that it looked like something pulled her. Quote, I felt a little scared and worried, so I immediately started praying over her and the house.
Okay. That's something you can do. Praying.
I mean, if you believe in this stuff, why not?
Yeah.
If you think there could be ghosts or something evil, why not? Two, I'm going to say Two is how you say your name. Two uploaded the video to TikTok along with the on-screen caption, did a ghost just pull her leg? The clip, which included the caption, can someone explain, garnered 304,700 likes and 5.9 million views on TikTok.
Wow.
Quote, social media blew up and told me to cleanse the house and move out mainly, Two added. Some comments under the video show viewers spooked by the scene, weighing in on whether the leg movement was a result of some kind of paranormal intervention or not. Quote, okay, so when this happens, usually it just means you need to pack all your stuff and leave like yesterday. Hope this helps, said Erica. However, a number of users thought the child's movement was just a result of her getting to grips with crawling and lifting her leg to stabilize herself after losing balance. The image does look like the baby's kind of doing yoga to me. Like her leg is just shooting straight out.
Mm-hmm.
But what do I know about babies or yoga? Quote, looks like her other knee slipped and she tried to catch herself from falling. If that's wrong, I was just helping you be able to sleep at night, wrote one viewer. Quote, comes from her left arm, causing her to stagger and try to stabilize with her right leg. Don't worry, said another user. Quote, after looking at this a few times, the baby's left arm lost balance as she stopped herself from falling. That's why her leg went up, suggested a different viewer. Quote, she lost balance and was trying to right herself, wrote another. Crawling is a critical developmental milestone that supports a child's physical and cognitive growth. According to the OT Toolbox, there are various types of crawling, including belly crawling, hands and knees crawling, and bear crawling, each offering unique benefits for motor coordination and sensory processing. Observing a child's crawling patterns can reveal important details about their development, which could be helpful in understanding movements like those seen in Justice 2's viral video.
Oh, okay. Now I know a lot about crawling, I guess.
I know, we learned so much about crawling and almost nothing about ghosts.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with even more spooky news, but substantially less information about crawling. And we're back with even more spooky news as we tell a story, read a story, tell a story. Why would I think tell a story? It's not like that's what I do on 95% of this channel. But we have a story from Huffington Post that is just for Rachel, my good buddy and co-host of Cutting Deep into Horror. Although I hope this isn't as sad as it could sound. Oh man, well, it can't be because this article uses so many puns. Oh my God. The headline is man surrenders nearly 1,000 rodents to New Hampshire shelter.
Wow.
1,000.
Wow. Nearly. So it might have been 8 something and they're just
they're
exaggerating.
Just full of crap.
Yeah.
The subheadline says the shelter now has an enormous problem on its hands.
Boo.
I knew you were gonna boo. Boo, no. Away with thee.
Really?
Stratham, New Hampshire. A group of mice is called a nest, but what do you call 1,000 of them in one animal shelter? Oh, this is where it gets sad. Crippling, said Lisa Dennison, executive director of the New Hampshire Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, which is scrambling to care for an overwhelming influx of rapidly reproducing rodents. That was so much alliteration. Did you like that? I like that so much. That was so much better than enormous problem.
Yes.
Get out of here with that. Huffington Post, you're not trying that hard. Did you ever have pet rodents?
No.
Not at all?
Well, I had like a hamster.
Okay, what was the hamster's name?
I had 2, and one of them was Brownie, and the other one was Oreo.
Was that because of their colors?
Yes.
So I'm assuming one was black and white, one was brown?
Yes.
I had 2 hamsters. One was named Rascal, who was brown, and the other was blonde and white, and he was named Terminator.
Okay.
I bet you can't guess which one I named and which one my sister named.
I don't know.
It'd be
I assume you named
impossible to
Rascal.
When Terminator, when he died, Mom got me another one and I named him Terminator 2.
Aww.
Judgment Day. Not really. I wasn't that funny when I was that young, but I named him Terminator 2.
Wow.
So I had a few hamsters as a kid. I had I had a couple mice, and I did have a rat.
Okay.
For a while. Oh, not at the same time, because the rat would eat everything else I just described. That is one of my favorite things that like non-rodent people ask. They'll be like, do the rats like the mice? I'm like, they love them. They love to eat them very much. They're delicious.
Oh, no.
They're just not the same thing. And the big difference between like rats and mice and hamsters, in my opinion, is you can tell rats have a lot more going on in their brains. Like, you can get an aloof rat, but like most mice are aloof. Most hamsters are aloof, but some rats are pretty smart. Like they're thinking quite a bit when you're playing with them or holding them or whatever. So, but I liked having rodents here and there as a kid. As the older I got, the more I couldn't handle the quick heartbreak.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't live very long.
No, they don't.
It sucks. And when they get sick, there's almost nothing you can do. I mean, it's just, It all started Monday when a man arrived saying he wanted to give up 150 mice. But then he clarified it was 150 containers of mice, not individual critters.
Oh, God.
He had 73 mice with him that day, and by Friday morning, about 450 had been transferred to the shelter.
Wow.
Another 500 or so were on the way.
Wow.
I want to pull that scam on somebody. Like, can me and my, I don't even have an example of like how I can pull that off.
Yeah.
Could I borrow $5? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant 5 cases of dollars. Give it up. Hand it over. Oh my gosh. And that number is growing thanks to some basic biology. Many of the mice arrived pregnant.
Oh, God.
And at Christmas, right? Yeah, around Christmas time. So one of them could have been like giving birth to the Messiah.
Yeah.
You don't know.
You never know.
Yeah. There was no room at the inn, so they had to all go to the Humane Society of New Hampshire.
Yeah.
One of the challenges is that gestation is short and breeding begins very early on, said Dennison. Quote, it's an enormous problem. This is something that got out of control significantly. Part of the shelter, I bet. I mean, you got to sex segregate the mice. That's like the only option. When I was a kid, my dad used to breed mice to feed his lizards. Because he had a snake and he had a monitor lizard and he had an alligator. Although he wouldn't feed the alligator anything alive because he said it makes them aggressive. So he'd only feed that like dead fish or like meat chunks.
That's sad because that alligator probably wanted alive things really bad.
It wanted a lot of killing.
Yeah.
The monitor lizard's name was Doc. I remember that. But I remember just being like, because I thought the mice were so cute. I don't really care about the lizards were all right, Yeah. They were fine, I guess. Part of the shelter's cat pavilion has been turned into a mouse hospital and hotel, with dozens of containers lined up on the floor, resting atop multiple tables and stacked on shelves. It's a lot of work for a facility that at most once took in 125 animals in one day.
Oh my God, those poor people.
Quote, it does happen where you take a large number, but even when we took in 54 goats or we took in 39 cats, those are still large numbers, but much more manageable, as you can imagine, than hundreds and hundreds of mice, Dennison said.
Yeah. That's
a lot of mice.
Can't they just ship them to other humane societies? Like a box each can go to everyone?
I don't know. I really don't know. Because like mice, it's tricky with mice too, because they do breed so aggressively, whether in captivity or in nature.
Yeah.
What do you do with them? And
put them outside?
But that could cause an immense amount of problems, and most of them would just die. Which then it's like, okay, so you're just sparing yourself the agony of being involved in their deaths, but giving them a worse death.
No, well, maybe worse. You don't know.
I mean, like, if you're going to go that route, why not just give them to lizard breeders to eat? I'm not saying that's what they should do. I'm just saying, like, if the answer is like, who cares about their well-being? Well, then why? Then I guess you could just do that.
Yeah, I guess.
It also
I
doesn't
don't
say
know.
what type of mice they are, like if they're a special breed of mice, because there are lots
Mhm.
of different breeds of mice. It doesn't say any of that stuff either. But also, I just feel bad because I know that animal lovers can get they can kind of lose the plot pretty quick. I mean, I'm an animal
Yeah.
lover, but not like, I have friends who like breed lizards and breed mice and rats, and I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah, yeah.
But I could see, like, feeling happy to be breeding mice, and then all of a sudden you're like, I have hundreds of mice.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't want any of them to die, so I guess I'll just keep them and allow them to keep breeding unrestrained. That's not good. That's not good.
No.
It's bad for the mice.
Mm.
But they seem to be holding on, so I guess that's what matters. Oh, but here, this answers your question. The last line of the article says, other shelters have agreed to take some of the mice, and some are being sent to foster homes. At least 4 were adopted Friday.
Wow.
Great job, guys. That's a solid dent on that, in that nearly 1,000.
Wow.
We did it. 4. Ooh, we have some comments. From a guy who calls himself Bernie Lizard, or Bernie Island. Sorry, I misread that. This happened to me when I was 10 because my mother had mistakenly brought home a male and a female mouse for my birthday, having been told they were 2 males, which should never be housed together anyway because they'll kill each other. That is true. That happened with my mice.
Oh no.
The last 2 mice I had, they killed each other.
That's terrible. What's wrong
I didn't
with
know about the male thing. Within weeks, we had cages and sinks and bathtubs full of them. The problem is, by the time they're old enough, you can tell their sex, they're old enough to breed.
Yeah.
A very happy to have them bird rehabilitation sanctuary was kind enough to take them off my hands. Thank Gord. It says Gord. I spent the next few years breeding them for this purpose, but never let things get like that again. Melinda said, I am a total animal lover, but keeping them in a cage is not the answer. If you feel badly about euthanasia, load them all up and release them into the wild at a good distance away. All the predators will have a fine meal and the problem will be solved. I don't like Melinda. That's mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why'd I read the comments? It's always an awful decision.
Yeah.
I made a horrible decision. You know what, Chell? My New Year's resolution is going to be not to read the comments.
Okay. That make you less sad, probably.
In theory.
Yeah.
But we have more spooky news, sans comments, after this. All right, we're back with even more spooky news. And now, I know you've been waiting for this, Chell.
No.
Yes, you have.
No.
We have a story from mirror.co.uk.
Okay, I was kind of waiting for
that. And this is the kind of headline that only mirror.co.uk would serve us.
Because it has, like, typos in it, or?
Their headlines don't generally have typos, although they do have, like, grammatical errors sometimes. But this says, terrifying moment, ghost opens creaky door in Britain's most haunted house.
Wow.
There should have been a comment after terrifying moment, because that was weird the way that read.
Yeah.
But don't worry, Chell. This story is based on a TikTok, so it's real news. The subheading says paranormal investigators, the occult family, were filming a TikTok live video at a Pontefract property known as Britain's most haunted house when they captured the creepy evidence. I feel like Britain has a lot of most haunted houses.
Yeah.
Like every other week we're learning about a new most haunted house in all of Britain.
Yeah. Maybe most doesn't mean what it means here.
Maybe. I just Google, what does the British most mean? A ghost hunting family has captured terrifying footage of the moment a ghost appears to open a creaky door in a haunted house that they were investigating. Known as the occult family, the paranormal enthusiasts were hosting a TikTok live video as they investigated the house when all of a sudden there rose such a chatter. When all of a sudden the door appeared to fling itself open. 38-year-old Kimmy Jeffrey and her partner JP, 34, were left shocked at what they witnessed, given that the movement of the door seemed completely unnatural.
I mean, doors open. That's not really unnatural, but okay.
Well, but that's not the most common thing doors do.
What is? Close? Not do anything?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you consider the function of a door. Some would say the function is to keep things out. Some would say the function is to let things through. I'm on the let things through camp because I believe you put a door into a wall. You don't build a wall around a door.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure. You're the home inspector here. You tell me how it's supposed to be done.
You put the door up and then you're like, okay, so that's how you get in. So what are you going to get in now?
Like, we have this door. We may as well make it enter something.
Yeah.
That's actually how homes were invented. Structures were invented. Was a guy built a door and was like, man, this is a nice door. It should go into something. So then he invented structures.
That's exactly what happened.
Beautiful. His name was Ooga Booga Chad. From 1924. He's just riding a bicycle with a big top front wheel, and he's just like, I say, let's invent a door. Sorry, I'm a silly man. I am just now starting to be fully recovered from the holidays. There was so much going on.
Yeah.
It was fun, but it was tiring. The family from Cheshire heard a creak near the entrance before the spooky moment. Kimmy then asked anyone who was there to move the door, which is when it appeared to open by itself.
Hmm.
Are you scared yet?
Yeah, that the door is not properly balanced.
Ooh. The best part is there's a picture of the door and it's just a door. There's a TV tray on the other side. Like, it's just the most normal, average door ever. Like, it's not a Victorian door. It's not an ornate door. It's just like a white door in a room with white walls that goes to another room. And there's literally a TV tray and what looks like maybe it's a computer router or something, like, on the floor. Like, I also like they posted a picture of her with her kids, and her kids are named Snow and Pebble.
Oh.
The mirror.co.uk has talked about them before. I remember a paranormal investigation family with a Snow and a Pebble.
I don't.
We've done a lot of these.
Yeah, I know.
We've done over 20 of these.
Wow.
So it's okay that you immediately have to drink to forget when it's over. You're like, don't send me a nice dinner after we record. Send me unfiltered whiskey.
Yeah.
Or filtered whiskey, whatever is the worst one.
I don't know which one is the one.
Quote, the door didn't just swing open like it would if a draft hit it. No windows were open or drafts. I like that they're like, there's no windows or drafts. They said, the door opened as if someone was listening to us and pushed it open.
Yeah.
Did they try asking everybody around, like, hey, did anybody do that?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, good. Quote, at the time, we were shocked that the door opened on command and that the door actually opened with no one near the door. We tried to debunk it and shut the door again, asking whoever did it to do it again. The door did not move all evening. Wait, how is that debunking it? We closed it and asked it to do it again and it didn't. That debunks it?
No, I don't know.
Well, I guess that bunks it. Does that bunk it then if it's not debunking it?
I think that if they closed it and it opened back up again immediately, that would
like,
be debunking it.
Well, the problem is they said they shut the door and asked whoever did it to do it again.
Yeah, so we really didn't get anything now.
Yeah, because if they were debunking, they just close it to see if it naturally did it again.
Mm-hmm.
But by saying, could you do that again, and then it not happening, how is that proving anything either way?
It might prove that the ghost really didn't want the door to open again, so they're holding it closed now.
Okay, now I'm following. See, all I needed was a tiny bit of logic.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Quote, this is a very rare occasion. We have been investigating for 2 years and have only had 3 things that we caught that we can truly say are paranormal. Usually in the paranormal world, things happen off camera and are not caught.
The ghosts know they don't want to get caught.
I like that they're like, look, all we do is make a career out of catching paranormal things or like trying to investigate them with cameras. By the way, they never happen on camera.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how much we add more cameras to our lives, they never happen on camera.
Yeah. It's only when...
Just don't.
Yeah. Like you walk out the door and then it happens.
Yeah. This is freaking ridiculous. Quote, we have had many people contact us via our social media saying that they have visited the house on numerous occasions and been in the room and know that door does not open naturally like that.
Hmm.
We used to film a bunch of scary movies in this little house in Waynesville, Ohio that was not abandoned, but it was owned by a family and nobody lived there full time.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically used for storage and they would do a yard sale every year to try and pay the tax bill.
Wow.
So people would store like knickknacks and crap that was going to be put out to sell from the family. So we would film there with the agreement that we would respect the property and protect the property inside.
Mm-hmm.
And we filmed, we did a good job. We filmed like 6 or 7 films there of varying degrees. Some of them were entirely in this old house. Some of them weren't. It was a really great location. I'm sad because now somebody lives there full time.
Oh, is that why?
We can't film there anymore.
Oh,
yeah,
that's
but
too
I'm
bad.
happy the house has somebody living in it, so it's being taken care of. Though,
yeah.
But that was like, you could be on the top floor and like move your weight around really fast and feel the house shift.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was built in like 1900.
Yeah, they get like that.
Yeah, or they were always like that, and it was just fine. But
yeah, possible.
But not a bad house. It's a pretty cool house. Near a gun range. That was the only negative. You could hear the gun firing sometimes.
Yeah, like where I grew up. Yeah.
Man, lucky. So
yeah, I didn't know what that was until I was an adult. We just always heard the sound and just thought like, oh, it's just some weird thing that happens here. And then like at some point, like one of my parents was like, no, there's a gun range over there. Oh,
you're lucky I wasn't your friend back then because I would have been like, oh, that's the Jersey Devil.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first times I went out there and I was with an actress I'd been working with and we heard the pops and she was like, is it hunters? But it was like pop, 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 pop. And I was like, they must be really good or really bad hunters then because they're firing a lot.
Yeah.
But there was something that I loved about that place, which was upstairs. There was this attic room off of the master bedroom. And it had a door made of wood planks, just old school door made of planks. And when you go there, there was a chair just butted up against it. And if you took the chair off, the door would just open because it just couldn't stay shut on its own anymore. That's why that was there. So I would constantly scare people when they came to that location for the first time by moving the chair and then the door's going because it looked creepy inside too. It was like, it was super old and dirty and full of just random crap. And the windows were all weird shaped, like antique shaped, like stuff that we wouldn't do now.
Mm-hmm.
So it would like creep people out. They'd be like, oh. The other thing I loved about that place was they had a gazebo put in the 80s. So it was like very much more modern compared to the rest of the house. Mm-hmm. But they built the gazebo over the entrance to the cellar, which made the cellar accessible from inside the house, which is nice, right? Mm-hmm. To be able to go to the cellar from inside. But it had this, like, you pulled this rope down and it would like, open up like straight up. And then you'd walk down there and it was very creepy.
Yeah.
Full of preserves. That was all it was full of. Shelves and shelves of jars. And one year we came back and a bunch of the shelves had fallen over and the jars had shattered.
Oh,
and
no.
we told the family, we were like, we didn't do this. We would tell you if we did. We'd admit it. But like this had happened. And they were like, oh, I don't even know how long they had been in there. Like they were like, oh, those shelves probably just collapsed because they were rotting or something. Mm-hmm. Like we weren't checking on it in any way.
Wow.
And we were like, well, what would you like us to do? And they're like, oh, don't worry. Don't bother yourself with broken glass and stuff. Just don't mess with it. And we were like, okay. Wow. So we just shot on the other side of the basement where there wasn't broken glass. It didn't stink down there too bad. So
maybe
no idea.
Maybe it had been a while.
Yeah, it had been at least 7 or 8 months since we had been down there, minimum. Yeah. So anyway, they shared an account of their experience on various social media platforms, including Facebook, explaining that they were at, quote, one of the most perceived haunted houses in Europe. Located in Pontefract, the family explained that they had been here on many occasions with subtle, if any, activity. The Pontefract home holds the reputation as one of Britain's most haunted houses, home to one of the most violent poltergeists in the world. The 1950s council house was home to the Pritchard family from August 1966, when strange things immediately started happening. Pools of water appeared in front of their eyes with no explanation. Green foam appeared from taps and toilets even after the water was turned off. Cupboards would shake violently. Photos were slashed with a sharp knife, and countless objects would levitate or be thrown, including a solid oak sideboard. The family referred to their poltergeist guest as Fred.
I mean, if all of that's true, that would be really upsetting. But I somehow doubt it, since this family of the occult family went there and all that happened was the door opened.
I've heard of the Pontefract home. It slipped my mind because I remember the ghost being named Fred. Mm-hmm. In a bid to evict Fred, exorcisms were held, but walls would seep holy water. People were slapped and even pushed down the stairs.
No. How did they know it was holy water that the walls were seeping?
Oh, this is the hill you're going to die on?
Yes, there's no way you would know that. So it's just all bullshit, basically.
One of the people who was investigating was a vampire, and when they touched it burns them.
Okay, then
they were like,
it.
This doesn't smell like acid. It must be holy water. In one chilling event, Diane, the Pritchard's daughter, was dragged kicking and screaming up the stairs. Eventually, the family fled in the 1980s, and the property has not been lived in since.
That's a long time.
We'll look into, maybe I'll ask you some questions about what could have caused those things as a home inspector, but after this. And we are back. Now, before we jump into some more spooky news, though, Chel, as a home inspector, when you hear pools of water appeared in front of their eyes with no explanation, what do you think might be causing that?
Like a pipe breaking, probably, or like it's raining outside and your roof has a leak. It's probably one of those.
Yeah,
or
probably.
Your refrigerator's leaking, or your sink is leaking. That's a pipe again. I don't know.
Would your first instinct be to check like the attic to see if it's from the ceiling or from the roof, rather?
My first instinct would be to look at the ceiling and see where it's coming from. Like, do you see water on the ceiling? Is there a stain? That kind of stuff.
Now, what about this one? Green foam appeared from taps and toilets even after the water was turned off.
So I assume there's just something, there's just probably something in the line that's causing it. Like maybe there's a hole in the line somewhere and some sort of chemicals have gotten in and they're still in there even if you turn the taps off. Like it's still sitting in there. But also I just don't believe that happened. So
damn. Kitty's got claws over here.
Maybe it's like a chemical reaction to like what the pipes are made of, but I don't really know what that would be weird. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be weird. And then cupboards shaking violently.
They're near a train.
Well, the Europeans love to brag about all their great rail systems and all this stuff.
All their public transportation. So
yeah, it's so great. Well, does it shake your whole house? We don't know. We have ghosts. Come on.
Where I grew up, when planes flew overhead and they weren't flying very low, they would shake the cabinets.
I believe you. No, I live near one of the biggest Air Force bases in America. Mm-hmm. I live near Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. So every now and then, it's rare. I mean, when I say every now and then, I mean like every 3-4 years, like we get like a sonic boom or something.
Yeah.
And everybody goes, huh? And then we're all on social media and they're like, yeah, the Air Force did a thing. Mm-hmm. Although the funniest sonic boom, air quotes funniest, was when they had an unexpected sonic boom from the Air Force Base on September 11th, 2001.
Oh, God.
That didn't scare everyone.
Wow.
But mostly me. That was horrifying, dude. It was so scary. We're just sitting around. I'm like I'm painting you a picture. I'm on AOL Instant Messenger, like with my friends after school. And we're all talking about like, what the hell? I'm like, and I think it was in 8th grade or 9th grade. I think it was 8th grade. We're like, yeah, what the hell? And then bang! And they're all like, ah! It turned out it was fighter jets heading, I'm guessing, to DC to secure DC would be my guess.
Yeah.
And they decided that going the speed of sound was the way to do it, I guess.
I guess so.
So anyway, let's talk about some better fortune, maybe.
Oh.
This one is from Huffington Post. The headline reads, New York magnet fisher recovers safe full of soggy $100 bills.
Yay!
James Kane estimates he found more than $100,000 in damaged currency in the safe.
That's so cool because since money, U.S. currency isn't made out of paper, it's made basically out of cotton, more or less.
Yeah, it's like a fabric.
Yeah, it could just be underwater and everything would be fine.
It does eventually rot.
No.
Because there are those famous, I mean, maybe they've changed it since then, but there were those famous stories about the money that Escobar buried. Like, it just started rotting.
I mean, yeah, you'd think eventually.
Yeah. And that wasn't even underwater. That was just underground for too long. If you've never read about Escobar, I can't recommend it enough. Like, he made so much money that he would bury it to like for safekeeping because he didn't want to have too much in banks and shell companies and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then he would absolutely forget he'd buried the money. He'd never go back to it because he was making so much money. Mm-hmm. It just didn't matter.
Yeah.
There was an estimate at one point that his cocaine operation was making more money than Ford.
Wow.
Per year.
Oh.
That's crazy. Anyway, highly recommend learning about Escobar. James Kane has used a magnet to fish all manner of junk from New York City waterways. But stacks of $100 bills he pulled from a safe were something else entirely. Kane's girlfriend, Barbie Agostini, 39, Italian last name. I don't think this was an accident. Thought I can make that joke. My girlfriend's last name is Rodolfi. Thought he was joking when he said their life was about to change, she told Associated Press on Monday. She was filming as Kane, 40, pulled a slimy safe out of a lake in Flushing Meadows, Corona Park, and extracted bags of waterlogged Benjamins from inside it. Oh, that's money, Kane said Friday in the video he posted online. Oh, it is. Stacks of bills, dude. I love these quotes. Oh my God, Agostini said in the video. The couple estimates the safe contained $100,000 in damaged currency. The bills featured the 3D security ribbon that indicates recent vintage, but the safe bore no clues to a rightful owner. That freaks me out.
Yeah, that's really weird. Recent. Yeah.
Why would there be? Yeah, that's really weird because that's recent.
So somebody, I mean, unless it was somebody threw a safe in the lake or whatever the hell it was. Wow. Why?
I don't know where in New York this
Didn't
is exactly.
Didn't they say Flushing?
Yeah.
So Queens?
Oh, okay. So New York.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So New York City, New York. Flushing Meadows, Corona Park.
Yeah, it sounds like Queens.
Could it be a hurricane-related thing from Sandy?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what parts were affected, But it kind of seems like a safe wouldn't be, that's a weird thing.
But it could wash away if you had enough water pressure. Especially if it had air inside it at first, that would kind of, not saying it would make it float, but it would alleviate the weight underwater.
Maybe. Are you looking?
Maybe. Flushing, New York, Hurricane Sandy damage. I spelled everything wrong. That was wonderful. Hurricane Sandy caused significant damage to Flushing, New York, including flooding, damaged wastewater facilities, economic losses, and displacement.
Okay, so it's possible.
Thousands of homes and estimated 250,000 vehicles were destroyed. Now, of course, that's in New York in general. It's basically just saying that, that's the same as like Hurricane Sandy affected New York City very badly.
Okay. Well, but the thing is, of course, we don't know because neither of us are familiar with this particular lake and stuff. Right. We don't know how affected the houses around it were or if it feeds into something else. Or
well, I'm just going to go on a limb and say it has to feed somewhere, because otherwise magnet fishing would get you nothing if this was just a body of water with no, feeding into it or out of it.
And I mean, considering New York City is right on the Atlantic, pretty much, that would make sense if it fed into something.
Well, apparently it also made dollars. Oh, I'm so funny. We're going to get into the story a little bit more, but we need to take a quick break, and we'll be back after this. Now that we're back, let's talk about this $100,000-ish in bills that are like brand new. I mean, not brand new, but like, I don't know when the ribbon started, but that wasn't that long ago. It was maybe 20 years ago at most.
I think it was less than 20 years ago, because that would make me 20. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think it was the entire time I was working at Hot Topic where that looked like that.
Oh, I found it. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Never mind. That was Gemini failing me yet again.
See, stop looking at it.
No, it gave me the right info. It didn't read right. 2013.
Okay, see, yeah.
That was when it was unveiled.
Yeah,
Gemini just referred to it as a new design.
Oh.
But not a new security feature. Sorry. So that's why. But no, because I remember I worked in retail right when those were being introduced. And we would get a lot of old hundreds, and they'd be like, you have to pen test them. You have to pen test them.
We even pen tested the new hundreds. You got to pen test them all.
Ribbons. If you ever get a chance, watch YouTube videos about people who are really good at counterfeiting money. It's fascinating how good they got at it. Like, they'd figure out, like, if you take this, like, chemical compound and spray it on the bill, it'll work when the marker for, like, one time.
Whoa,
stuff
okay.
Like that. They would figure out, like, weird tricks that would make it kind of work for a minute. And they'd be like, it's just long enough. All you have to do is get the cashier to put it in the thing and give you change, and you're good.
Right, because, they're not going to catch it until the bank takes it then.
Exactly. So, anyway, the bills, they featured the 3D security ribbon. Kane and Agostini said they called the police to report their discovery, and the police said there was no evidence of a crime.
Yay!
You'd think they'd be like, how about we write down a couple of them serial numbers? Maybe.
They were probably really busy, and they were like, listen, I don't care about the safe of money that you supposedly found. It's nothing to do with us. So.
Right. You found a bunch of money. Good for you. This is a quote. They gave it to us as, I guess you call it, a finders keepers thing, Kane said. The New York Police Department did not respond to requests for confirmation of Kane's discovery.
They were just like, we didn't actually do any of that. Okay.
We never spoke to anyone. Kane said he and Agostini planned to take their soggy money to the Bureau of Engraving and Printing in Washington to redeem it. That makes sense, because the bills are not really spendable anymore. It would be shitty to put them it'd be shitty to put them into circulation, because they're all worn out from soaking in water.
Who cares? Just do it. No one's not going to take it.
According to this, it says some portion of the bills will likely be too damaged to recover.
Okay, fine.
The pair have ideas for spending whatever they end up with, including a new vehicle and upgrades to the equipment they use to produce content.
Okay.
I mean, you just like $6,000, you'll have all the content shit you need. You're good.
Yeah.
$6,000 will do it. Kane is far from the only magnet fisher who has made a mark in recent years. All it takes is a powerful magnet, a body of water, and a rope. A magnet fisher. Oh, you're going to like this. Oh, God. Oh, my God. What?
What?
How did I not see this article or this story? A magnet fisher found a human skull padlocked to an exercise dumbbell in New Orleans last month.
Oh, my God.
And someone fishing in a creek in Georgia in April pulled up a rifle and some belongings of a couple who were murdered 9 years ago.
Cool, let's do this.
Dude, you want to go to the Schuylkill with me and just
I do. Yeah. You know how many
I'm
bodies
in.
we'd find?
Oh my gosh, how many metal bodies they would have to be metal?
Well, maybe they have like metal plates in their heads. I'm sure that those aren't magnetic because there would be problems, but still.
Yeah. As magnet fishing videos rack up views on YouTube, man, that's something I haven't even wasted my life watching yet.
That's so cool.
Now I'm going to find magnet fishing. Skeptics grumble on Reddit that some of the finds must be fake. Kane may just be lucky he's hauled up bicycles, guns, grenades, and jewelry from New York City waterways, promoting his exploits on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Quote, I have seen and worked with other magnet fishers that can hit a spot for 3 months, and I'll come along and throw the same magnet and get and find something that they've been trying to get the entire time, he said. I personally can't explain it.
Maybe his magnet is better?
I maybe. Or maybe it's just plain skill, girl. Just plain skill. I can't believe I never saw this thing about a human skull padlocked to a dumbbell.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did that even happen? It happened this year. How did I not find it? A 15-pound dumbbell was padlocked to the skull, which was fully decomposed, lacking a jaw or top row of teeth.
Wow.
Wow, the article's barely anything considering like a person's dead. Oh, well,
wow.
It's New Orleans. What do you want?
Yeah, it happens all the time.
All right, well, let's go from... Well, before we get to that, so my thought was hurricane could have caused the safe. Criminals, theft obviously would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, somebody trying to hide a crime, and
or dumping a safe out of frustration for being unable to open it. Because let's be real, if you're so stupid that you can't realize you can't open a safe, maybe you're so stupid you throw it in a river.
No, because then you can't ever have what's inside. You could,
and
you
neither
could figure
can
it
anyone
out.
else except YouTubers.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. Part of me thinks it's fake.
I mean, maybe. Or what if it's like some person who was trying to make like a treasure hunt? They were gonna like make this because there are like dudes who are like make treasure hunts. So maybe he was making one. Don't say it like that. There totally are.
$100,000 prize.
Yeah, maybe he was some rich guy.
Chell.
And that was the big prize at the end.
I don't know, man. That one's
maybe
a little
it fell
stretchy
out of airplane.
But that body of water, but it could have landed in a bigger body of water and wound up there. Okay. I could see that one. Maybe
dolphins carried it there.
Hey! Did I ever tell you about a friend who, when he was younger, he had family members in the mafia in New York, and they used to produce movies. And they would give him money when there was time to cash in the insurance policy on a movie. They would give him money to go to the film lab in the middle of the night because they would be open 24 hours back then, and just take a reel of the movie and walk across the street and just drop it in the Hudson. Because then it was insured, so they'd get their money back.
Wow.
Because then the next day they'd be like, "Where's the other reel of my movie?" And they'd be like, "Oh no, I guess it's lost or damaged. So here's the paperwork for your insurance policy." And he was like, "Awesome." And we wonder why insurance is so expensive now.
Wow.
It's because people the fraud was so outrageous. Like, you ever read those books from old mobsters from like the 60s and 70s? They were just constantly torching businesses. Boy, fires sure are common at businesses, huh? Yeah. Coat businesses, restaurants, they're very flammable occupations, I suppose. Huh. Wonder what happened there. I don't know. But all I know is I would be very nervous about getting a big sack of money I didn't know where it came from. And I'd be even more nervous about news stories being written about it and where it was found. Yeah. Yeah. It's probably fine. The police said it was fine. It's probably fine. Except then the police didn't confirm they said it was fine. They didn't even confirm that they'd spoken to them. That's because they were probably not supposed to say that, and someone was just there and like hung over, and they were like, "I don't know, man. Just whatever you want with it. It's fine." To me, it sounds like clout. It sounds like this is all clout. Like
Yeah.
they just want people to like subscribe to their YouTube channel.
It's possible, but it's not like people don't find cool things. So
The guy even said though that like somehow he always finds the coolest things no matter how many other people are around. And I'm like, well, that's pretty ballsy to say.
well, hopefully if he was actually just making it up, he wouldn't be stupid enough to say stuff like that though.
I don't know. I've met some dummies in my day.
Yeah.
But, well, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with some more spooky news. And hopefully a big box of money would be nice after this. All right, we're back at mirror.co.uk, baby. The headline is, quote, I died on operating table. When I woke again, I saw something impossible.
Oh, what?
Well, I guess we could find out if you want, or I could skip the article.
You can just skip it. It's fine.
Oh, okay. A woman who was put into a near death during brain surgery says, wow,
What?
A woman who was put into a near death during brain surgery. She floated above. This is, get a copy editor, mirror.co.uk. A woman who was put into a near death during brain surgery, I'm assuming it said she floated above a doctor's shoulder and witnessed details she shouldn't have been able to see.
I think that's like when you dissociate, I think that can happen.
It very well could.
Yeah.
The case of Pam Reynolds Lowery is one of the most well-documented and significant near-death experience accounts on record. Podcaster Christina Randall, who has extensively researched the case, explains that Pam had been experiencing symptoms of dizziness, temporary loss of speech, and bouts of paralysis.
Uh-oh.
A scan revealed that she had a large aneurysm close to her brainstem.
Oh.
Because of the aneurysm's location, surgery to repair it would be extremely risky. Christina said, quote, as a last resort, a neurosurgeon of the Barrow Neurological Institute in Phoenix, Arizona, decided that a rarely performed procedure called a standstill operation could improve Pam's chances of surviving. A standstill operation effectively reduces the patient's vital signs to a near-death state.
Okay.
Christina explained, quote, Pam's body temperature was lowered to 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees centigrade. Her breathing and her heartbeat completely stopped, and the blood was completely drained from her head.
That's fine.
I wonder how long you can do that before you stay dead.
I don't know.
Weird. Seems kind of weird.
I don't think you have very long.
No, it can't be very long. But despite this, as a matter of routine, Pam's eyes were taped shut, and a headset that played a series of loud clocking sounds was placed over her ears.
So, okay. So,
yeah. What?
Is she like not anesthetized during this? Like, what's happening? Because I know that I'm pretty sure during anesthesia they do put tape over your eyes. That's what Reddit told me one time.
I mean, they couldn't be lying, so.
Yeah.
The sounds, which would have been intensely annoying if Pam had been conscious.
Okay, there we go.
Enabled the anesthetist. It's the TH in there that throws anesthetist to confine that there was no activity in the patient's brain. I think they meant confirm.
Confirm? Yeah.
But despite this, Pam reported a series of incredible experiences while she was technically dead. Pam, who was a why is that in past tense? Who was a musician, it turns out the aneurysm was caused by playing guitar. So no more. Pam, who was a musician, identified a continuous tone corresponding to the note D.
Huh? I can't do that.
This sound somehow lifted her consciousness out of her body. Christina recalled, quote, Pam said during this, she felt more aware than normal and her vision was more focused and clearer than normal. Her senses became so hyper-aware, it was as if she had more than 5 senses.
Well, you do have probably more than 5 senses.
I thought we only had 5 senses.
I don't know.
With the 6th sense being the ability to know that Bruce Willis is actually dead.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
With this unnaturally clear perception, Pam watched as the surgeons drilled through her skull to reach the aneurysm.
No.
Quote, she was able to see the electric saw that was pulled out to use on her, and she described it as looking like an electric toothbrush, Christina went on.
Okay, I can see that.
I mean, I would imagine what else would it look like? I mean, really?
Yeah, like a little Dremel, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a number of telling details that led experts to believe that Pam had somehow witnessed the dramatic life-saving procedure from outside her own body. In an interview, Pam recalled, quote, I was looking down at the body. I knew it was my body, but I didn't care. My vantage point was sort of sitting on the doctor's shoulder. Oh, like a little like angel and the devil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
One's like, help her aneurysm. The other's like, kill her. You know? I remember the instrument in his hand, and it looked like the handle of my electric toothbrush. Oh, unfortunately, Pam passed away in 2010. So this is like, they're bringing this up in a new way.
Oh.
She added, quote, I had assumed that they were going to open the skull with a saw. I had heard the term saw, but what I saw looked a lot more like a drill than a saw. He even had little bits that were kept in this case that looked like the case that my father stored his socket wrenches in when I was a child.
Yeah, so it's like a Dremel, basically.
Yeah, it's a Dremel. Pam even remembered details of discussions that the doctors and nurses had while they were operating on her. But as she calmly observed the operation, she became aware that she was not alone.
Because she was in the room with the doctors? Or what?
Christina said, quote, when she tried making out the figures, she realized that it was her grandmother and uncle and other deceased people that she knew.
Huh?
You'd think they'd have something better to do than watch her get brain surgery, but...
Really? I think that's kind of a big deal, watching someone get brain surgery.
I would just be like, if she dies, I'll know when she's a neighbor. That would have been me watching TV in the afterlife. In particular, Pam said, her late uncle, who had died when he was only 39, I don't like that, I'm 38, seemed to be taking the part of a guide. She went on, quote, my uncle was the one who brought me back down to the body, but then I got to where the body was, and I looked at the thing, and I for sure did not want to get in.
Ew, yeah, I mean, I could see that. Like, I got to go back in there? That's okay.
I highly disagree. When I look at my own body in photos and in the mirror, I think I look very cozy.
Okay. I mean, I could see that.
Thank you. Pam said her body looked lifeless, and she was reluctant to go back into it. She went on, quote, I didn't want to get in, but he kept reasoning with me. He said, quote, a double quote, I guess, it's like diving into a swimming pool. Just jump in. He pushed me. He gave me a little help there. After a grueling 7-hour procedure, Pam was wheeled into recovery. As soon as she came to, she stunned doctors with her recollections of what had happened while she was technically dead. Some skeptics have attempted to debunk Pam's story, suggesting it might be a case of anesthesia awareness, a condition where patients can recall details of surgery despite being under general anesthetic. But in this case, Pam's eyes had been taped shut and her hearing would have been blocked by the loud audio clicks coming from her headphones. Cardiologist Michael Sabam is convinced that Pam's case is genuine, though he's identified over 100 instances of anesthetized or seriously injured people having an experience that hints at some sort of life after death.
I mean, it could just be that people can astral project. It doesn't have to be life after death.
Well, I know that they've done an immense amount of of studies about how people whose brains are deprived blood and oxygen have wild hallucinations, including leaving your own body.
Well, yeah. And And like I said about dissociation, that could be like that too. But like, it doesn't explain if she was right about the details. That being said, it's not impossible that she couldn't have kind of imagined something similar.
Well, and I'm gonna take another bit of tact with this. It's not like these doctors are so interesting that what they said couldn't be guessed.
You don't know that.
Talking about?
You don't know that.
They're just at work. They're
yeah,
probably
but
just talking about stuff anybody talk about. It's easy to accidentally guess it.
Come on. No, it's not.
I think it is. I mean, what do they say? Like, doctor? That's what they say, like the entire surgery. Doctor.
They like listen to music and they talk about their lives and stuff.
And they say like suction.
Yeah, but mostly they're talking about their lives and that hot date they went on, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. It's not a bad job.
We're going to take a break. I have one more spooky news I want to get to because it is Christmassy. And then we're going to get to our topic right after this. All right, we're back with one more little bit of spooky news because I wanted to end festively. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. So we're heading back to the Huffington Post, where the headline reads, "Owl strikes perfect pose on Christmas tree after flying down chimney."
I saw this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love this. Oh, no. But the first line is, "Oh, owly night."
I hate them.
A Virginia family had an unexpected holiday visitor recently when an owl flew down their chimney and promptly found a picturesque place to rest. Quote, "This beautiful barred owl decided to play Santa and drop in, literally, through the chimney of a local home and declared himself the newest star on top of their Christmas tree." The Animal Welfare League of Arlington wrote Thursday on a social media post, adding that the feathered guest had knocked the old star over to make room for himself on the tree. The picture is amazing. It's just an owl sitting, like a wild owl, just sitting on top of a nicely decorated Christmas tree.
Yeah. I mean, I have a lot to say about this, but...
Oh, yeah?
Well, yeah, because owls can't fly into chimneys if you have a rain cap on your chimney. You should have a rain cap on your chimney, because if you don't, owls and other animals and rain will get in there and it will deteriorate your flue and destroy your chimney. And then you'll die of carbon monoxide poisoning. So get a fucking rain cap.
Post a lot of weird Reddits because of carbon monoxide poisoning. Well, okay, I'll see your point and add this. Then how's Santa supposed to get in?
He has tools. He has to take them off, the rain caps. He can't really get in. I don't want Santas to get in anyone's house anymore.
Anymore?
No more.
Oh, you just want the world to burn.
Basically.
The nonprofit, which provides animal services in Arlington County, shared 2 photos of the owl on the tree, as well as a video showing the bird of prey flying around the room as children in the home laugh. Yeah, those kids do not know enough about owls. I would not think that's funny.
I would think it was funny.
Violent.
They're not going to hurt you.
Yeah, okay.
You think the owl's just going to swoop down and attack you?
Yes.
Why?
If it feels threatened, I mean, it's not going to just do it for no reason.
Exactly. So don't threaten it.
Oh, so now it's my fault. Okay.
Yeah.
The video also shows the owl flying free outside after being caught in a net by Animal Control Sergeant Spencer Murray.
It's just going to come back in.
Yeah, that's all it is. Once they get a taste for, the warmth in there and like apple cider or something, then they're like, I can't go back. Following the stint inside, the owl was, quote, uninjured and totally healthy. Chelsea Jones, a spokesperson for the organization, told HuffPost via Facebook. She added that the nonprofit is so grateful to the family for staying calm and allowing our sergeant to safely remove the owl.
Aw.
Yeah, I guess nobody got like a good rifle for Christmas, or they would have been like, hold on, I got this.
You can't shoot things.
In your own home?
In your own home? Yeah.
I think you're wrong.
don't know.
I think you're wrong.
No.
The Animal Welfare League of Arlington noted that the incident is, quote, a great reminder to keep your chimneys capped this season to prevent curious critters from coming to visit.
There we go.
Do you feel seen?
I feel vindicated.
Good. You deserve that. After all you've been through, you earned that.
Great.
I did not just make that part up. That is in the article.
Now I don't believe you.
No, it's in the article. The photo and video footage prompted thousands of social media comments, most of them delighted. Quote, it's been such a wonderful experience seeing the joy this has brought people, Jones said.
Aww.
And there are 34 comments. Wow, they're really good. Number one comment, now that's a tree topper.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
That was when I sorted it by best.
Wow.
Sorry, it's not New Year's yet. I can still read comments.
No.
And then one comment was musical notes, and it said, owl I want for Christmas is a bird on my tree. So I guess I'm supposed to sing that.
Okay.
A good ending for a true story at Christmas.
People who comment on news articles are weird.
Some of these have got to be bots, right?
I hope so.
Somebody said better than a cat to keep mice away. That's true. Did you dissect owl pellets when you were a kid?
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I'm afraid of owls. I've got a healthy fear of owls.
I think they're cool because they throw up bones and fur.
Wait, I thought you didn't like throwing up, and now you think throwing up is cool.
No, it's different.
Changed so much.
It's different because it's not like they're sick. That's the function of their digestive system.
Well, that's the function of yours too, occasionally.
No!
On rare occasions. Jeez.
No!
Shell, you're scaring me. Please stop.
Okay.
That actually startled me a little bit. Well, before we go to break and then we talk about creepy and weird New Year's traditions, do you have any New Year's traditions you always do? Or have always done or did when you were a kid? Anything of note?
I mean, we used to eat hors d'oeuvres and watch Twilight Zone and stuff. Now I don't do anything. I'll probably watch Twilight Zone, but I'm not going to eat anything good this year.
Well, you don't want to eat much of anything at all right now.
No, but I have to. But they have to be things that I cooked in my house now for a while.
Yeah, I understand. I haven't had food poisoning, and that's the weird thing though. When people get freaked out because they get food poisoning, I can't eat out anymore. All I think is man, I eat out way too much, way too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't had food poisoning in 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it's super rare, obviously, but I kind of just don't want to do it right now. It sounds the whole just eating food out just sounds really unappetizing at the moment.
Oh, I totally, and it's really recent. So,
yeah.
But no, it's more just weird that I'm man, you'd think, I've got to be at really high risk just from eating out so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't happen that often. It's weird.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Next time I'll get that's the other thing. We ate from the same restaurant too. It was just different dishes.
Yeah. I mean, it's always possible that it was from something the day before because it can take a little while. No, it was that one.
I don't buy that.
Okay.
I don't buy that.
Well, then I guess you were just lucky that you didn't eat what I ate.
Well, I went for something mild for the stomach, which was I went for fried pork belly and octopus.
Wow.
I have no idea why I was fine and you weren't.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just I'm just stronger, as a person.
Yeah.
I have a better moral compass, so I'm just able to be all right.
I figured,
That's you were I kind of assumed it was a character flaw on my part that made me ill.
That's usually what it is. So it's almost always what it is.
Well, when I was a kid, we would eat our meat and cheese tray, with crackers that my mom was gifted from somebody at work every year. Every year, Christmas was a ham that a client gave my mom, And every year New Year's was some cheese and cracker thing that my mom was given as well, which is hilarious because looking back, it was just like, you goblins take this. I'll be in the other room, just like leave me alone. But we would watch the countdown.
Mm-hmm.
That was the thing. Although my mom would almost always go to bed before it. So it would be me and my sister staying up. But my mom, because of her like kind of old school Kentucky, Southern Ohio upbringing, we would get like noisemakers, things like that. But she would also like pull out the pots and pans and be like, you can bang them together, but not too hard. Like, don't break them, but you can bang them together. So we would blow, and then we would like bang pots and pans together.
My neighbors did that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, when we get back and we talk a little bit about some traditions of New Year's, there might be mention of why some people think you should make tons of noise on the New Year. Or maybe not.
Who knows?
I guess you'll have to wait to find out after this. All right, it's time to dive into this month's topic, which is creepy New Year's traditions, superstitions, things like that. So I found an article, or a listicle, or what I don't know what they call these. It's a list. It's 7 creepy New Year's superstitions that'll keep you up past midnight.
Okay.
And it's from mentalfloss.com.
Wow.
They have some stuff every now and then. And it's a recent one. This was published on the 12th of December of this year.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got. Sparklers and confetti, check. Noisemakers, yep. Champagne, got the Costco bulk pack. Fresh baguette or sourdough boulé to beat against the walls of your house during a New Year's Eve party to chase away evil spirits? Or maybe that's one New Year's custom you're a little less familiar with. When it comes to traditions people embrace to ring in the new year, some are less known than others, and many are downright spooky, so much so that they could give baby New Year and Father Time nightmares. Below are 6 unsettling superstitions from around the world that make December 31st feel more like October 31st. It said 6, but the headline says 7.
They're not sure.
And there are 7.
Oh, now I'm really confused.
So this one, you might like this one. Use bread to scare away spirits that mean you harm. You like bread?
Yeah, but I don't like to use it for non-food things.
This reads, that sourdough bread baking hobby will come in handy if you want to partake in this old Irish New Year's Eve tradition. Back in the day, residents of the Emerald Isle would bang loaves against doors and walls just before midnight to ward off any angry apparitions or problematic phantoms that might be lurking.
I mean, I don't know why that would work, but sure.
Whacking wheat bread and clubbing ciabatta against the wall is also believed to send the bad luck packing and ensure that your family won't go hungry for the next 12 months.
Okay. Sure.
It doesn't sound like you have to ruin the bread. You're just beating stuff with it and then you eat it.
What if you
later
feed it too hard and it gets all messed up?
Not everyone has what I would call passion issues like you do.
Fine.
She's violent, everybody.
I'm not violent.
Here's another one. Set a place at the dinner table for lost loved ones.
Oh.
Another Irish New Year's Eve custom is to leave the door unlocked and set a place at the dinner table on New Year's Eve to welcome back the spirits of loved ones who were lost during the last year.
Aww.
To some, it might suggest that Irish households are a revolving door of wanted and unwanted specters during this holiday.
I guess.
Do you just hate New Year's? Like, you just don't want to,
Yeah.
You're just like, no, don't
I don't
care.
like New Year's.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I love New Year's.
Stupid.
How is it stupid?
Like, what are we doing? It's just another day. We arbitrarily decided that this was the end of the year. I hate everything.
There are other New Year's too.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, there's a lot of arbitrary choices, but what about all the other holidays? You could say the exact, do you just feel that way about all holidays now? Is that your move?
Yeah.
You're like, why do we even care? It's just Christmas. It's just the 25th.
Yeah, who the fuck cares? We just made this up anyway.
You're hurtful.
I'm sorry.
What is with you, man?
I'm sad.
I'm gonna call your mother.
No.
I'm making a
She's
note on my
already
phone.
worried about me.
I know, and that's why I owe this to her.
No.
I think it's gonna have to happen.
Oh.
This next one I've never heard about at all. Don't even think about going into the laundry room on New Year's Day.
Oh.
For most people, doing laundry is an everyday household task. Every day?
Every day?
It's like a couple of times a week at most for me.
I do laundry once a month.
We know. I can smell it from here.
No.
Well, I was when my dogs were sick, I was doing laundry every single day because I had bought reusable pee pads because it was much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then I was running laundry like constantly. But let's see, for most everyday time. But as it turns out, there is a shocking number of spooky superstitions that revolve around performing this seemingly mundane chore around the new year. The most severe claims that if you clean clothes on January 1st, you'll be washing for the dead. And a member of
No, continue. Sorry.
And a member of your family will be washed away, which is really just a poetic way of saying someone you love will die at some point in the coming year.
Jeez.
It will also send a year of good fortune spiraling down the drain.
Oh, that's mean.
Even the least ominous of these laundry-related superstitions is still no laughing matter. Tradition holds that if you wash a load of clothing on New Year's Day, you'll jinx yourself into having more laundry than usual all year. I like how that one's just kind of charming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The other one's like, your family will die, you know. Okay, here's another one I've never heard before. Don't get rid of anything until January 2nd or else. According to this New Year's superstition, nothing, be it leftover pizza, empty wine bottles, you get the idea, should be removed from your house until after New Year's Day. It was even a thing back in the Victorian era, although our 19th century forebears believed you could get rid of stuff with no problems, provided you replaced whatever you toss with something new. Either way, the consequences for not adhering to this custom are dire. The idea is that it'll set the tone for a steady stream of people and things to leave you in the year to come. If you want to avoid a year of misfortune, maybe hold off on shopping sprees for a couple of days.
Okay.
I do have a weird tradition that I try to eat my absolute favorite food that I can get my hands on New Year's Day to start the year on that foot.
Okay.
So for a long time it was cheeseburger, and then I got more hoity-toity, so now it's been sushi.
Okay.
I start the new year by eating a ton of sushi.
That sounds good.
This year, maybe I should just go get hot pot again. I just want to live in a hot pot.
Yeah.
I just want the hot pot forever.
I know.
Gosh, you're so judgy.
Yeah.
This next one, burn effigies to get rid of last year's bad vibes.
Okay, I could do that.
New Year's Eve is particularly lit in Ecuador, where at the stroke of midnight, the country takes to the streets to burn effigies, referred to as montigotes, of politicians, pop culture figures, and other icons that represent the Año Viejo, old year. This is often after men dress as mourning widows, beg for money while in costume, and parade the dummies through the streets.
Okay.
Ecuador, are you okay?
I think that sounds fun.
Bro, Ecuador, you all right? The symbolic cleansing dates back to a 1895 yellow fever outbreak. Back then, people stuffed caskets full of clothes from the deceased and set them ablaze as a literal and figurative purification ritual. Nowadays, some folks also hide messages in the monigotes, listing off all the bad things from the past year that they want to put behind them in the upcoming one.
Okay.
If you can't afford an elaborate monigote of your own, you can use a simple scarecrow and mask. Added luck in the Año Nuevo is also said to come to anyone who jumps the flame once for every month of the year. So you jump over the effigy 12 times to guarantee you good fortune.
What if you get caught on fire, though?
I mean, I guess that would start your year a little rough.
Yeah.
That's when it's años buenos fumas. Flames. Make lots of noise on New Year's Eve, but don't forget to open all the doors and windows.
No, it's cold outside.
Don't mess this up. At the risk of catching your death of cold, consider implementing an old strategy from the Philippines. Homeowners open all the doors and windows just before midnight to serve up an eviction notice to any bad juju that might be lingering around and usher positive auras into their abodes. That's not the only way to keep wicked wraiths from darkening your doorstep either. According to Filipino tradition, the more noise you make on December 31st, the better, as it's also believed that a big ruckus helps to drive away evil spirits. You'll have a reason to be loud and scared all over again when the extra high heating bill from your party comes in the mail. All right, that's a pretty good mental floss. I'll give you that one.
Yeah.
My cigar lounge, this year they're doing a pajama karaoke party for New Year's.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm excited. Usually it's just sit around. It's New Year's. Like, that's it. That was this year we're doing pajama party karaoke.
Huh.
Yeah. All right, one last one. This one looks like it's from the part of the world you like.
No.
Japan. Weebville.
Oh.
We need to just change the name of Japan to like Weeb something.
That's not very nice.
Japan isn't very nice. Dress up like a demon and maybe ensure a good harvest. Like Halloween, some New Year's superstitions involve a costume change. In small villages around Japan, including Oga, young men dressed as the Namahaji, ogre-like demon, and go door to door to frighten lazy people. Nice. They also threaten to snatch away misbehaving children, but back off once the head of the household offers sake or rice cakes.
Oh.
Basically, it's like Krampus, only significantly more menacing and tied to New Year instead of Christmas. These terrifying figures are also believed to bring protection from illness and disasters once appeased, as well as a good harvest and plentiful food year-round, so at least there is an upside.
Yay.
That's a pretty good little article.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Well, I do have one more article with some more examples, and I don't think it's repetitive. We're going to go through those real quick after this. I wouldn't want to leave people high and dry, so we have a few more creepy and weird New Year's traditions from around the globe. This time, we have a few from creepybonfire.com. And these are different than the other ones. That's why I pulled up two. The first one they reference is called the Dark Rider of Scotland, also known as the First Footing Tradition. In the heart of Scotland, as the old year gives way to the new, a unique and suspenseful tradition unfolds. First footing, rooted in Scottish, Northern English, and Manx folklore, this custom dictates that the first person to enter a home after the stroke of midnight on New Year's Day will bring either good fortune or misfortune for the year ahead. The ideal first footer is often a tall, dark-haired male. Hey, I'm not tall. Believed to bring the best luck. This figure, stepping into the house at the very start of the year, is laden with symbolism and expectation. The roots of first footing are shrouded in mystery, with some tracing it back to the Viking invasions of the British Isles. A stranger's arrival, especially a dark-haired one, once stirred fear reminiscent of the alarming days of Viking raids. This tradition has evolved over time, intertwining with local customs and superstitions. In Scotland, the practice varies from place to place, but it generally involves the first footer bringing symbolic gifts such as coal, coins, whiskey, or black buns.
Wow.
I could go for some.
Yeah.
These gifts are not just tokens of goodwill, but also emblems of warmth, prosperity, and celebration. In return, the first footer is often greeted with food and drink, making a communal start to the new year.
That's kind of nice. You just go to people's houses. Because you're like, I'm going to be the first person and they'll feed me. Yay.
As long as you have dark hair, I guess.
And you're a guy. A tall guy.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. Aww. So this one, have you ever heard of this? Japan's Bell of Forgetfulness?
I don't think so. Are these
As
real?
the new year approaches in... Do what?
Are they real?
I don't know. It looks like it. As the new year approaches in Japan, a profound and resonant tradition takes place. Joya no Kane. I keep wanting to read this in Spanish. This ritual, deeply rooted in Japanese Buddhist customs, is observed on New Year's Eve as part of the Omosaka celebrations. The heart of this tradition lies in the striking of the temple bell, or bonsho, 108 times at midnight. This practice, primarily celebrated in Japan, but also observed in South Korea and at Japanese Buddhist temples worldwide, symbolizes the purification of the soul.
Okay. I don't know if this is a real thing. I just tried to look it up.
Oh, is it not coming up?
No.
Are you serious?
When I look up Bell of Forgetfulness, I get The Memory Bell by Kate Flannery.
If you look up Joya no Kane, it comes up.
Oh, okay.
It's also known as the Midnight Bell.
I'm not sure how to spell Joya no Kane.
JoyanokAne.
Okay, I give up.
Yeah, this is not some made up AI thing. I think you spend too much time with AI.
I do.
I'm worried about you. We're all very worried about you.
Okay. Yeah, you should be. It's Joya no Kane. Would
Kane.
Be fine. Yeah.
That's how you'd say it in Spanish and in Italian.
Yeah.
But the origin of the Joya no Kane can be traced back to Zen Buddhist customs from the Song dynasty in China, adopted by Japanese Zen temples during the Kamakura period. The ritual of ringing the bell 108 times is steeped in Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhism, it is believed that humans have 108 sins. These are derived from the 6 senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, body, and mind.
Huh.
Oh, so smell and taste are separate. All right. I appreciate that. Also, body? Your sense of body. Okay.
And mind.
Each with pleasant, unpleasant, and neutral variations, further divided into pure and impure categories. These variations, multiplied by the 3 aspects of time, past, present, and future, result in 108.
Okay. Those are things.
This one I'm sure you've heard of, the Mary Lwyd, or Lloyd, whatever. It's a horse skull under a sheet.
No.
It's in Wales. You've never heard of this?
No.
Oh man, I don't. How do you say Mary Lwyd? This is one of the few weird New Year's traditions I knew about. Although I don't know how to say it. But it's literally like a guy in a horse, like in a costume with a horse skull. It looks really creepy and weird. In the wintry landscapes of South Wales, a haunting and enigmatic tradition known as Fairy Lloyd is observed. I don't know how to say it. This wassailing folk custom, deeply rooted in Welsh culture, involves a peculiar and evil figure, a hobby horse made from a horse's skull mounted on a pole, shrouded in a white sheet, carried by an individual concealed beneath sackcloth. The Mary Lwyd, or however you say it, is a striking and ghostly presence, embodying a blend of festivity and macabre. Performed during winter festivities, the custom varied in date and duration between villages. Adorned with colorful ribbons and rosettes, it would bring a blend of fear and amusement inside the houses. The Mary Lwyd would then create chaos, snapping its jaws and neighing while the group entertained the householders with music and merriment.
Okay.
Some referred to it as the Grey Mare.
That makes sense. Yeah.
In Spain, they have the 12 Grapes of Luck. Never heard of this one. Grapes. In Spain, as midnight on December 31st approaches, a vibrant tradition unfolds, the 12 Grapes of Luck. Embedded in Spanish culture, it entails eating a grape with each chime of the clock at midnight, symbolizing the New Year's welcome. Each grape signifies a forthcoming month, believed to bring good luck and prosperity for the year ahead.
I don't like that because you have to eat the grapes really fast.
Dong.
Yeah.
Dong.
Yes.
Dong. That's too fast for you?
It's too much pressure.
I think you could just pop a new one in your mouth and just keep going.
No.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know. It sounds like that's not the right way to do it.
You just have to hate all the good stuff. Well, this is one I know you'll like.
Oh.
Romania's bear dance.
I don't like bears.
But it's people dressed as bears.
I guess that's That's a little better.
In Romania, the bear dance is a captivating and colorful tradition that marks the New Year celebration. The country's folklore and cultural heritage deeply rooted in this unique custom. The bear dance isn't just a winter performance. It's a symbolic ritual embodying the cycle of time, signifying both death and rebirth, believed to purify and enrich the soil of the upcoming year. It holds a deeper significance beyond just a mere dance. It showcases Romania's rich cultural heritage and deep ties to nature. The bear dance in Romania is a remarkable blend of past and present, a ritual that brings communities together in celebration and hope for the new year.
Okay.
Yeah, these are all strange. We have one more.
Okay.
The Graveyard Vigil of Talca, Chile, or A Night Among the Tombstones. I've heard of this one. In the small town of Talca, do what?
Oh, I just said I haven't. Sorry.
Well, you don't care about Chile, clearly, which is hateful. In the small town of Talca, located in the Mali region of Chile, there exists a unique New Year's tradition. As midnight approaches on December 31st, some locals engage in a practice that might seem unusual to outsiders. They spend the night in the graveyard, keeping vigil among the tombstones. This tradition, our participants bring candles, flowers, and even set up picnics beside the graves of their family members and friends. The atmosphere, contrary to what one might expect, is not morose or overly somber. Instead, it is a time of reflection, remembrance, and even celebration of the lives of those who've passed. This practice, or the singular vigil showcases the varied cultural celebrations worldwide and serves as a poignant reminder of universal themes like love, memory, and the passage of time. They used a lot of AI to make this list. They did. I'm just admitting it. They used a lot of AI to make that list. But those are some interesting ones to chew on, especially if you like grapes for the new year. So we're going to take a break and we're going to come back wrapping things up and saying goodbye to 2024 after Michelle tells us what she's grateful for from the past year right after this. I thought you'd be more upset by that.
No, I give up.
Fair. All right, Chell. Now's the time you've rehearsed for.
Oh.
Auld Lang Syne. Take it away.
What am I doing?
Auld Lang Syne.
Oh, I don't know that.
We've been preparing this for months.
No, I haven't been. I just keep telling you that I'm preparing it.
That is so cruel. That's deeply cruel.
It wasn't supposed to be a lie. I just hadn't gotten around to it. And then things got all crazy and,
Well, we are wrapping up the year. So a few things I want to get to. As far as horror media goes, I saw There's Something in the Barn on Netflix. It's a new to me Christmas horror comedy. Super fun. Cool. I recommend it. It's about a killer. It's about a family who moves to Norway and there's a killer
in their barn?
Elf in their barn.
Oh.
But it's played for laughs, but it's also really fun and it gets really outrageous. The other big Christmas horror media I saw Black Christmas 50th anniversary screening. It was really awesome. And rest in peace to Olivia Hussey, one of the lead actresses who passed away yesterday.
Oh God.
That was in Black Christmas. I also saw Nosferatu, the remake of the German ripoff of Dracula. And I liked it. And Black Christmas is amazing, by the way. I just got really depressed talking about Olivia Hussey just passing away. Mm-hmm. I like Nosferatu. My biggest complaint was it didn't do a lot of new stuff.
Yeah.
It was very, very much a remake and it felt like a remake. Mm-hmm. But it was well done. The performances were incredible. I'm the worst because people will say I love that movie because the cinematography blew me away or it was so beautiful to look at. And I'm like, it absolutely was. I get bored by that really fast.
Yeah.
If everything is incredibly designed, I'm like, wow. And then it's just the room. Mm-hmm. I completely, maybe I'm just so stupid that aesthetics don't get me the way they sometimes get other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person and I know it.
It's okay.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's probably not okay, right?
Uh-huh.
Promise me that you'll help.
Oh, Sure.
You're like, oh God, I don't even know what I'm agreeing to, but I'm agreeing to it. So, all right. Well, but that was my horror media. Not a ton of new like Christmas horror for this year. Terrifier 3 came out, even though it was a Christmas movie, it came out in October. So it doesn't count. But this was an incredible year for horror movies. Cuckoo was one of my favorite horror movies I've seen in a very long time. We had Maxine. We had just a ton, too much to go through. So very good year for seeing horror movies in the movie theater. Yeah.
Cool.
Not, it was quite a year. So Chell, do you have anything to wrap up this year from Reddit?
Let's see, because I definitely saved a couple of things. They weren't very good. Oh, fair. Okay. I can do this one. This one is insane. So, okay, I'll try to like recount this because I don't want to like just like sit and figure out what it was. But anyway, on the Glitch in the Matrix Reddits, there's this person let's say like 8 months ago, this family lost their remote control for the TV. Like it's just gone. They looked all over, can't find it. They have kids. It went somewhere. Nobody knows. So I think this has happened before. So they were finally just like, let's just they're literally paying for an app on their phone to do like a universal remote. And everyone in the comments was roasting them and saying like, you could just get a free one. You don't have to pay for it. But anyway.
I love that that's one of your favorite like sticking points.
You
get a free one.
That's like literally what half of the comments were like, you don't have to pay for them, right? So she, I guess, is sitting on the couch. Like she had been watching Bluey with her kid, but her kid went to bed. And she's sitting on the couch and she changed the channel, because she didn't want to watch Bluey anymore. And then while she's watching, it keeps flipping back. Like she's watching it and it flips back and so she's like, okay, what the fuck? Like, and then she's like, am I sitting on the remote? And she picks up the cushion and it's there. Now, that would be weird, but you could miss a remote. That couch is new.
No.
That couch is only like 4 months old. So it didn't get lost in that couch. How did it get there? Somebody put it there.
The couch, what did you say?
Somebody probably just put it there.
Oh, yeah. Could it have been like up her ass for months and she just didn't realize it?
No, because she'd have some sort of infection if that happened.
Okay, that checks out.
Yeah.
No, that one's really weird because I struggle with remote control loss. I'm getting better, but like I have a Samsung and the remote is like so small. It's like this. It's like smaller than a candy bar. Like it's really, really tiny. And I'm always worried I'm going to lose it. And one time Rachel was like, you should put a AirTag on it. And I was like, well, the problem is the AirTag is wider and thicker than the remote. So it would be really weird.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. Do you have a theory? You think just somebody just put it there?
Yeah, I think they're kids and, they found one of them like found it under something and then was like playing around and it got lost in the couch,
I often tell Rachel that like, because she often is sitting on things that like, they aren't even there until she sits down. Like it's magic. Like, I'm like, where's the remote? Rachel, sit here. She sits down. I'm like, now get up. And I get the remote. I'm like, thanks. So I don't know that one. I mean, with something as mundane as a remote, but also they're so lazy. They use an app. Like just get a new universal remote on Amazon for like $11.
Well, they're just using the app and paying $4 a month for it. So,
well, okay. They deserve to be roasted if it's a monthly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That one's sad. You hurt me. Is there any more or is that the best you got?
That's the best I got. There really wasn't very much. Yeah.
That's fair. The Matrix is learning and it's not glitching as much.
Yeah.
Which is good, but also worrisome.
It's probably fine.
Well, I guess we'll wrap this up. So I will say it was a really tumultuous year. And I'm very grateful to everybody who has been around for me, who's been kind to me, as I've needed a lot of kindness in a lot of different directions this year. I've needed kindness while I grieve. I've needed kindness while I recover, while I heal, while I am selfish. I've needed a lot of kindness. Why are you making that face, Chell?
I'm not making a face.
You're totally making a face.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay, fine. I deserve that face. You're right. But no, I really, so I want to say thank you to all the people who have been listening and writing in and saying kind things, and to my friends like Michelle, who, I was really struggling with just having a very dark holiday. And getting to spend a couple days with you really turned a lot of my mind around. And not just because you're a good friend, but also because you're a great friend and you had really great conversations with me in between ranting and raving about banana fish, which was fun. Telling me you were just being a good friend. And I'm really grateful for you, Chell. I'm looking forward to a new year, doing this podcast and just kind of seeing what comes next. Cause this year was all change.
Yeah.
Every goddamn week, it feels like there was a massive change to my life.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how it all settles. I guess. And I'm looking forward to you writing more episodes of Weekly Spooky.
Okay.
Please.
Okay.
Well, we're going to get out of here. I hope everybody listening to this has a happy, healthy, and safe new year. And we really do appreciate you. If you love what we do here at Weekly Spooky, you can go to weeklyspooky.com/join. Sign up for our Patreon for as little as $1 a month and get 2 bonus shows and 4 years of previous bonus shows and audiobooks. We really do appreciate the support. And you can email us at weeklyspooky@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. If you have anything to question or comment, I'm here and I'll be reading it. So, Chell, what do you have to say for yourself?
Not really anything, I guess.
Anything about the year, about your resolution, anything like that?
I don't have any resolutions because everything sucks and it's just going to get worse.
So your resolution is that things will get worse?
No, that's just reality.
You seem awfully cocky about you being right.
Oh.
Yeah. It's okay. It's good to have that kind of confidence in yourself.
Oh.
To be like, I'm right.
No.
Well, Chell, I'll see you next year, okay?
I guess.
We're going to do this show next month, so stay subscribed. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. I'm not going to get super mushy because I'll save that for the Weekly Spooky proper episode where I might cry. You never know. You'll have to be subscribed to find out. Catch you guys next time.